My hands shook as I stared at the acceptance letter. For years, every slam of the piano lid, every failed audition, every dismissive glance from a seasoned musician had felt like a personal failure. I was just a boy from a small town with a second-hand keyboard and a dream that felt too big for my world. They told me I lacked the classical training, the pedigree, the inherent genius required to make it. You have heart, kid, but heart doesn't play Rachmaninoff, one instructor had told me, his words echoing in my ears every time my fingers fumbled a complex passage. My parents, though supportive, worried. They saw the long hours, the sacrifices, the scholarships I'd lost out on, and their faces were etched with a quiet concern that I was chasing a ghost. My dream was singular, to study at the Etheria Conservatory, a place that seemed less like a school and more like a myth. It was the hallowed ground where legends were forged. My application had been a long shot, a desperate prayer sent into the void. I had poured every ounce of my being into the audition tape, not with flawless technique, but with raw, unbridled passion. I played not just the notes, but the story behind them, the story of every closed door, every whispered doubt, every lonely night spent practicing until my fingers were numb and my spirit was weary. I sent it off with no real expectation, just the quiet satisfaction of knowing I had tried. The rejection letters from other, less prestigious schools had already started to pile up, each one a paper cut to my soul. I began to believe what everyone else had been telling me. Maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe it was time to be realistic, to put the dream away and find a sensible path. I took a job at a local diner, the clatter of plates and silverware a harsh new soundtrack to my life. The piano in my room gathered a thin layer of dust. The silence was deafening. My spirit was on the verge of breaking. I was ready to quit, to finally surrender to the crushing weight of reality. The dream was dead, and a part of me had died with it. Then, one afternoon, an official-looking envelope arrived. It was thicker than the others. My heart hammered against my ribs. A frantic, desperate rhythm. This was it, the final nail in the coffin. A formal, lengthy letter detailing why I wasn't conservatory material. With a deep, steadying breath, I tore it open. My eyes scanned the formal letterhead, the dense paragraphs, searching for the familiar, soul-crushing words. We regret to inform you ... but they weren't there. Instead, I saw a sentence that made the entire world stop turning. The admissions committee was profoundly moved by the unconventional passion and emotional depth of your performance. The letter went on, but the words blurred through a sudden film of tears. They weren't just accepting me. They were offering me the prestigious Alastair Finch Scholarship, an award given to one student each year who demonstrates exceptional soulfulness and a unique artistic voice. The head of the piano department had written a personal note at the bottom. Technique can be taught, it read, but the fire you play with cannot. We are not looking for perfect players, we are looking for artists. Welcome to Etheria. I collapsed onto the floor, the letter clutched in my hand, and I wept. It wasn't the sound of sorrow, but the sound of a dam breaking, of years of pent-up hope, frustration, and desperate longing finally being set free. In that moment, everything became clear. The journey hadn't been about proving them wrong. It had been about proving myself right. It was about honoring the small boy who first fell in love with the sound of the keys, who promised himself he would never let that music die. The rejections, the doubters, the failures, they weren't roadblocks. They were the very things that had forged my unconventional passion. They had given my music its story, its soul, true strength found in a life without failure, but in the courage to get up one more time than you've been knocked down, to hold onto your light when the world tries to extinguish it. My journey wasn't over. It had just begun. Subscribe to for interesting stories.